Hey everybody, it's been a while since I posted a video. Just wanted to try and find another way to broadcast and share information with clients and with you all, frankly, whether or not you're a client of mine. I still have the ability to help people, and that's really why I got into this industry. Right now, rates rates suck. Rates have gone up, and they're continuing to go up. We've been sending out information over email. I do have some email campaigns I send out to frankly, a fair amount of people, whether you're existing clients or not. It's just good information to have, and whether you use that yourself or you share it with family and friends, it could be beneficial to you. So if you're not part of my mail campaign, that you get the odd tidbit on, mortgage news and information and real estate for that matter. Let me know. I don't send out a ton, perhaps a little bit more when things are going on right now. So the reason for the video. So despite the fact that I've sent out email campaigns, I'm finding that more and more people in the last 48 hours have been reaching out to me. And I think it's partly due, or it's largely due to the fact that everybody's getting their mortgage statements for the first time since the last increase that we saw in July. There's going to be more increases expected for September as well. And I think, again, there's usually a few weeks to sometimes upwards of a month delay by the time people notice, and it kind of hits you. Despite the fact that you heard about it, you may have checked your statements or your bank account at the time and say, well, I haven't been impacted. But then, the next statement comes out, it's like, oh shoot, my payments have gone up. So the biggest thing to consider here, it seems like the easy answer is to lock in. Lock into a fixed rates. That's what the banks want you to do. It's most advantageous to that bank for you to lock in, and it may seem like the best move for you. In fact, it's not usually the best case. So the last email, and I'll link it in this post, wherever I'm going to end up posting this video. I will link the actual article that I had written out. I spent some time on it, so it's a good option to read through it and share it with others, because despite the fact that you might be okay, there's a lot of mortgage payments have gone up considerably, and even if they're not clients of mine, it's still good information to have, and it's very important, in my opinion, to actually share this information, and so that emotional decisions aren't made and possibly regretted down the road. So quite frankly, and just to kind of give you a high level of what options are right now, first and foremost, it's doing nothing. So if these these increases haven't impacted you to the point where you're not able to budget accordingly, we can look at options. But if you can and you have the ability to budget, you've considered that taking a variable rate, you've saved for several months, for several years, and the payments were lower, the interest was lower, and you've put money aside because of that, and so these new increases isn't really the end of the world for you. You're able to adapt. Perfect. Don't do anything because you're still likely in a great product. That's not the case for everybody. A lot of people budget according to their existing bills, and they don't necessarily always forecast for future potential increases, because a year and a half ago, it wasn't really top of mind for a lot of people. Assuming that's the case, the bank's going to reach out and suggest, like I said, locking into a fixed rate. What you're likely doing is locking in automatically to a higher payment, and then being stuck with that payment for the remaining of that term. Right now, variable rates still remain lower than the average fixed rate, so it is still the lower payments between the two options. But it also comes with the flexibility. So you likely took the variable rates, whether it was something that we discussed or if it was somebody else that walked through the options with you. There's a lot of flexibility that comes with the variable rate, and there's a lot of reasons why it makes sense not to touch that variable rate for future long-term benefits. If, however, you're in a position where you don't have, the option to budget, and you're really starting to sweat, and the discussion that the upcoming increases, I should say, in September, for those of you that aren't aware of what I'm kind of alluding to, is suggestions are that we're looking at another 50 basis points, so 0.5%, or upwards of 75 basis points, so 0.75%. Further increases in September to the prime lending rates, which would increase your respective variables and your mortgage payments. If knowing this is making you really nervous and anxious about your existing bills, reach out to me, because there's actually a lot of different options that you can insulate yourself from these increased payments without necessarily hurting yourself long term. And this video can go on for probably a good 15-20 minutes to go over all those details and or all those options in detail. You can tell I haven't done a video in a while. So reach out, because it's a heck of a lot easier for me to kind of break it down with you depending on your situation. But also my email campaign that I've sent out, and I'll link in this video as I explained, will provide some information on that as well. So let's talk about it. No need to be embarrassed. Most people figure, well, I'm just going to deal with it. It really sucks. I'm having a hard time. I don't really want to open myself up to individuals. I'm a licensed mortgage professional. My job isn't to, find reasons to make people feel bad about their situation, or really say, well, you should be able to handle this because it was your decision a few years ago. And that's not the case. I'm a solution. I find solutions for clients. Whatever your problem is currently, my job is to guide you to the best solution, whether that's to stay put, to consider a different mortgage, to consider a different type of product, or consider third-party options as well to temporarily help. Either way, it's to find solutions that make most sense for you, and that's what I'm here for. So please reach out, share this with your friends and family. As I mentioned, you don't know who is potentially struggling in the background, and I unfortunately feel that if there's a fair number of people who are going to jump at the chance to maybe consider locking in, you might regret it. Actually, I would say there's a good chance you're going to regret it down the road. So please reach out. I don't mind chatting, even if nothing comes out of it and there's no transaction that me and my team help you out with. I am here to help, and I'm more than happy to book a 10, 15, 20-minute phone call and kind of walk you through those options so that you can make the informed decision. Reach out anyway. Any questions, concerns, let's chat. Otherwise, we'll leave it at this, and hope to talk to you guys soon. Have a good day.